Your Life and Sex Island, Chapter 5, picking up the tab, page 114. We are talking taxes. Who really pays? Who pays how much? Most of what you hear is BS. There are many professional liars whose sole job it is to deceive you. And that is about all you hear. BS. I believe that we are shedding new light on this old subject. Check us out. How are we going to proceed here without getting bogged down in millions of calculations and estimates and 50 state tax codes and 10,000 municipal tax codes and 20,000 taxes within each taxing authority, without boring the stuffing out of you while we use 500 words to describe West Virginia's tobacco tax, or Hawaii's GET, General Excise Tax, or Europe's VAT, Value Added Tax, or the fair tax, which is, of course, designed to be as unfair as possible. As I may have mentioned elsewhere, I am 3/4 of a century old, and I've lived in 11 states and maybe 20 cities all over the country, all four corners, north, south, east, and west, and the middle belly where I'm living now, and I visited most of the other states and several other countries. That doesn't necessarily make me an expert on taxation, but at least I've seen a little and know what a tax is and what a tax is not. I have also worked at several different levels, from janitor to president, in little companies and big ones, including DuPont, Central Foundry, Wolverine Tube, which is Calumet and Hecla, U.S. Steel, Chrysler, plus a dozen others. I've made over 1 million loaves of bread and designed over 100 machines and over 100 products. I have been deeply involved in almost every department in several different types of organizations, from manufacturing to service. If that's bragging, that's enough. If that's complaining, that's too much. Maybe a little bit more. I have a friend who was comptroller at a Dow 500 company. At his house, he and I were drinking and chewing, and he picked up a financial quiz that had been in one of his trade professional financial management magazines and administered it to me, figuring you know what. He would embarrass me with his vast financial knowledge. Well, he didn't get you know what. I trounced him good, and he really got irritated. So yes, I am well read. I am not going to do this discussion in the abstract, or it won't be any fun at all. I'm going to compare real people making different amounts of money. I can't compare equal increments like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, and 60,000, or we will have a government project here bogged down in dollar quicksand. So I will go up by orders of magnitude of earnings: $10,000 per year, $100,000, $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, and yes, $1 billion per year. I may have lied back there. I'm not going to use real people. People do sue, you know. I'm going to use realistic people and realistic amounts of dollars. I can only think of 3 things that any government can tax: income, wealth, and purchases. Purchases are, of course, the obverse side of the sales coin. Gambling is tricky. We'll call that an excise tax, like a tax on entertainment. It's not quite a sales tax. So taxes only on income, wealth, and purchases makes our task a little easier. Only 3 categories instead of the hundreds that the politicians have learned to use to hide their nefarious tricks. Income such as wages, salary, interest, dividends, gifts, inheritance, rents, commissions, franchises, sales, etc. Wealth such as real estate, stocks, bonds, loans, mortgages, businesses, property, patents, copyrights, savings, metals, wheat, sawbellies, and other commodities, etc. Purchases such as various retail consumer goods, food, clothing, fuel, rents, etc. Purchases of the different classes of wealth, like stock, bonds, capital goods, real estate, and other property. when changing hands at sale, and the purchase of intangibles, insurance, annuities, etc. Our purpose is to determine what and how much taxes people do pay, not how much they should pay. The latter, the should, is too complicated, opinionated, and not our business. The do, the reality, is plenty complicated all by itself. Realistic people, realistic earnings, realistic taxes. What a change from what you usually get. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Purchase the book now by clicking on the link in the description below.